Welcome to another edition of Furlongs and Horses. My name is Rachel. I am your host. You can find all the preview posts up at furlongdrive.blogspot.com, and a direct link to today's post will be on the down bar below. This is a preview for the Holy Bull, the first basically major leg in the road to the Florida Derby. There's also the Fountain of Youth, which will be in a few weeks. And then, of course, the big race itself, the Florida Derby, which is basically a win and you're in, I believe, because it's for 100 points for the Kentucky Derby. This is at a mile and a 16th, I believe. I have to double check. Let me do that quickly because I have it written down, but it is on my post. It's not in my preview notes. Yes, it's a mile and 16th on dirt. There are 10 3-year-olds entered, so let's go ahead and take a look at them. Number 1 is Frosted. Kieran McLaughlin will train for Godolphin. Irad Ortiz Jr. rides. He is by Tappet, second in the Rebson as the favorite, but he only lost by a half a length, and he was well ahead of the third place finisher. But it did take 3 times for him to break his maiden, so it did take a little while. Being by Tappet, brilliant sire, of course. You could say the number 1 sire in the country right now. But they seem to be either brilliant or brilliant and then fade off. And hopefully he's not the latter. He's probably the former, in where that he can stay consistent all the time. I just don't know. Tablets have a little bit of a bad injury history. And I think it's because of having Unbridled in their pedigree. Because that's Tappett's broodmare sire. But the fact that he's owned by Godolphin, Kieran McLaughlin has had some solid 3-year-olds in the past. Of course, he worked for D. Wayne Lucas as well, so I think it's one that he can go either way. Number 2 is Keen Ice. Dale Romans trains, and Edgar Zayas will ride. He is by Curlin, third in the Remsen behind Frosted, and fifth in the Breeders' Futurity before that. He already has a win at Churchill, which helps down the road. And of course, him being by Curlin should start to improve this year, as we've seen. Curlin's be, I think, pretty good at 2, very good at 3, and excellent at 4. So he's really should be starting to getting wound up here. I don't think he will be all the way wound up until the Florida Derby. So I don't have him in my top 3 for this race. But it would not be surprising if he were to finish second or third, or even win this race. Number 3 is High Noon Rider. George Weaver trains. Joel Rosario will ride. He is by Distorted Humor, third in the Springboard Mile, and he broke his maiden. And those were his last 2 races. Same cross as Any Given Saturday. He won the Haskell, and he also won the Brooklyn Order. Unfortunately, he had been born in the same year as the awesome threesome Curlin, Street Sense, who has a son in his race, and Hard Spun, who of course looks like he's turning out to be the best of the three of them as a sire. But Curlin and Street Sense are doing very well as well. As for High Noon Rider, of course, being distorted humor is a plus. He's already won all three races with Sunnyside and Drosselmeyer, Derby, Preakness, Belmont. I don't know. Fact that he couldn't win at Remington is a little bit of a concern. And this is a bit of a step up for him. We'll see. Number 4 is Bluegrass Singer. Marcus Vitale trains Javier Castellano rides. He is by Bluegrass Cat, won the Mucho Macho Man and an allowance option claimer. All of his wins have been at Gulfstream. So for that reason only, I think he is a serious candidate to win tomorrow, because I'm recording this on Friday. I don't think he's a Derby candidate down the road. I think when Carpe Diem, Daredevil, really start to get going, they're going to pass him, I believe. Just the fact that I think Daredevil will bounce back. And, of course, there's also Upstart, who I will talk about in a little bit. In this race, Frosted, Keen Ice, Upstart, all solid horses. But I think the fact that I think he might be this year's Wildcat Red, and that surprises people by being very solid at the beginning. And then if he skips the Fountain of Youth and goes to the Florida Derby, I think he might surprise people there, but I think really this is going to be whether he's the real deal or not. I'm not 100% sold on him. That being said, when I get to my picks, it's going to be a little surprising who I'm going to pick to win this race. Number 5 is Juan and Bina. Gustavo Delgado trains, Jose Lezcano rides. He is by Indian Charlie, and he is probably the best bred horse in this year's Holy Bull Field, as he is out of Caressing. Although Frost is also pretty well bred because he's out of a half to midshipman. But Caressing was a very good filly when she ran. That being said, Juan Nabina, I don't think has any chance. 5th in the Mucho Macho Man, and then 2nd before that in the Smooth Air. So I don't think his chances in this year's Holy Bull are that great. Number 6 is First Down. Tom Albertrani will ride. Tom Albertrani will train. He used to be a rider, but he is now a trainer. Rajiv Murrah, riding in his first big race since the Jockey Club Gold Cup. So welcome back to Rajiv. Will be riding, and First Down is by Street Sense. 4th in the Nashua, and then he broke his maiden before that, so this is his first start of the year. Matter of fact, I believe, with the exception of Bluegrass Singer, Juan and Bina, and a couple other horses, I think. This is their first start of the year. But getting back to First Down, the runner-up in the Nashua was El Kabir, and he's come back to win a stakes at Aqueduct. Interesting that he's here. I think if he runs well here, he might be a Tampa Bay Derby candidate. And then they can always go to the Bluegrass if he needs a third prep. Which I think he will, because I think he has a solid chance here. I just don't know if he can win. Number 7 is Fragmento. Nick Zito will train for, and Luis Saez rides. Second and fourth in allowance optional claimers. This is his stakes debut. He's by Midshipman. I don't know. Again, Nick Zito, Hall of Famer. What can you say? It's going to be a little interesting how well he does, and I just need to do a quick search on something because no, for number 9, but for number 8 is Upstart. Jose Ortiz rides, Richard Violet trains. He is by Flatter, third in the Juvenile, second in the Champagne, and then he had won 2 New York bred stakes races up at Saratoga, including the Funny Side. I think he's going to need a race, but I think he might even be the best race in this field. Down the road, Frosted, you could say, could also be a solid contender, but I don't know. I think Upstart is going to be the better horse, and I think it's going to show when you get down to the final 3. Okay. Let me just do one quick thing. I just need to check something out. Okay. Alright. Okay, that's done. Number 9 is Dom the Bomb. Rafael Hernandez rides, Larry Ravelli trains Don the Bomb. It's by Bring the Heat, which is kind of interesting. Won 2 Illinois bred stakes races. The Jim Edgar Illinois Futurity and Sun Power Stakes. His lone loss, though, was an allowance company, but that was open to everybody. So I don't know. I think he's up against it in this race. And then last but not least, number 10 is Decision Day. John Velasquez rides for Josie Carroll. He is by Macho Uno, of course, the sire of Macho again, and then Mucho Macho Man, possibly his big 2 horses that he's sired. Won the Coronation and Maiden in his last 2. This is his first start on dirt. Being by Macho Uno is helpful. Against this company, though, I'm not sure. He has only run on synthetic at Woodbine, and he is a Ontario bred, so he's more of a Queen's Plate candidate. This is just to get some foundation underneath him for possibly a run at the Queen's Plate. Although, last year there was a horse who ran in both the Derby and the Queen's Plate. He didn't win either, but I think he ran well in both of them. So we'll have to see how well Decision Day does against an okay group. Not the best of the best for this division yet, but we'll get down to the nitty gritty when the Fountain of Youth rolls around in a few weeks. So that is the field for this year's Holy Bowl. Again, number 1, Frosted. Number 2, Keen Ice. Number 3, High Noon Rider. Number 4, Bluegrass Scener. Number 5, Juan and Bina. Number 6, First Down. Number 7, Fragmento. Number 8, Upstart. Number 9, Don the Bomb. And number 10, Decision Day. So up next are the picks. So for the picks, to win, I have Bluegrass Scener, and the only reason why I have him to win is because I just feel like right now he's the horse that's in the best form. As I said when I did my preview, I don't think he's going to be a name to really remember down the road, even though his sire was second in the Derby. I do have a couple concerns about possibly distance, but maybe that's just me. Limitations down the road. But I think the fact that he's won all of his wins have been at Gulfstream, and that's another thing is I'm not 100% sure he can win outside of Florida. Whereas Upstart, even though it was against New York breds, has shown that he can win in New York and he can run well in open company in New York and run well in open company outside of New York, which is why I have him finishing second. I think he'll need a race just to get racing legs back underneath him. I would not be surprised if he or Frosted were to win this race, but I just feel like right now he might be the better horse, and then Frosted a little bit down the line as we get into the Fountain of Youth and Florida Derby. And then for third, I have First Down. Again, I was debating whether to put either Frosted, Keen Ice, or First Down, and I went with First Down because the Nashua isn't the most ideal prep, but the longer they go, the better he should be. Even though Street Sense seems to be more of a 7 furlong specialist right now, which is a little bit interesting. Could be wrong about that. So again, to win, I like Bluegrass Scener. The place, I like Upstart, and the show, I like First Down. So that is it for this preview. Let's see. What else? I think I'll have a preview next week. I'm not sure what race yet. And then on February 2nd or 3rd, probably February 3rd, which is a Tuesday, look for a video, and that's going to recap all of January. This is something new that I'm going to be doing this year, and I will talk about that, though, in that video. So, take care for now. Bye.